Have you ever wondered if it's possible to communicate with the spirits of the departed? Well, you're not alone. For centuries, humanity has been intrigued by the prospect of reaching beyond the veil of death, and one tool has consistently stirred our collective curiosity: the Ouija board. A flat board adorned with letters, numbers, and simple words, it promises a bridge to the other side. Yet it's not without its controversies, its allure cloaked in a shroud of mystery, skepticism, and outright fear. Some consider it a harmless parlor game, while others warn of its potential dangers, associating it with dark forces and unintended consequences. Regardless of where you stand, there's no denying the Ouija board's fascinating grip on our imaginations, a testament to our enduring fascination with the unknown. As we embark on this journey, let's delve into the fascinating history of the Ouija board. The Ouija board, as we know it today, has its roots in the mid-19th century. This was a time when fascination with the occult and communicating with the dead was sweeping across America and Europe. This period, known as the rise of spiritualism, saw mediums conducting seances attempting to bridge the gap between the living and the departed. But amidst this, there was a need for a simpler means of communication, one that didn't require a medium. Enter the talking boards. These precursors to the Ouija board were simple handmade devices, usually a board with letters, numbers, and simple words like yes, no, and goodbye, and a planchette to point to them. The talking board was seen as a tool, a conduit to the other side, and it was in this environment that the Ouija board was born. However, it wasn't until the year 1891 that the Ouija board, as we recognize it today, came into existence. That year, businessman Elijah Bond filed for a patent on the Ouija board. He claimed it worked by mysterious and unknown forces, a claim which was enough to secure the patent. From then on, the Ouija board moved from the seance rooms of spiritualists to the living rooms of the general public. In the hands of Bond's associate, William Fuld, the Ouija board was commercialized and marketed as both a mystical oracle and family entertainment. The board was touted as a magical device that could provide answers to questions about the past, present, and future. Fuld's marketing genius made the Ouija board a household name, even as its spiritualist origins were largely forgotten. In the years that followed, the Ouija board went through various iterations and changes in ownership, but its essence remained the same. It continued to be a mirror reflecting societal fascination with the unknown, the supernatural, and the afterlife. From a spiritualist tool, the Ouija board evolved into a popular parlor game. But as we'll see in the next segments, its journey didn't stop there. Its role in pop culture, science, and paranormal research is just as intriguing as its origins. In the 20th century, the Ouija board made its way into popular culture. It slipped into the mainstream through various forms of media, captivating audiences with an alluring blend of mystery, fear, and fascination. Movies and television shows played a significant role in this cultural shift. The eerie board was often portrayed as a portal to the spirit world, its usage resulting in thrilling, if not terrifying, consequences. Alfred Hitchcock's The Uninvited, The Exorcist, and even the animated series Scooby-Doo all featured the Ouija board, further cementing its place in popular culture. Books weren't left behind either. Authors like Sylvia Plath and James Merrill used the Ouija board as a plot device, adding an element of supernatural suspense to their narratives. Even in the realm of comic books, the Ouija board found a home, making appearances in series like The Fantastic Four and Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Beyond the silver screen and printed pages, some high-profile incidents involving the Ouija board also grabbed headlines. For instance, the infamous Amityville horror case, where a family claimed their house was haunted following a Ouija board session, stirred up public intrigue and debate. While the Ouija board's popularity soared, so did the controversy surrounding it. Despite the debates, one thing is certain: the Ouija board has left an indelible mark on popular culture, fascinating and terrifying us in equal measure. But is there any scientific explanation for the Ouija board's functioning? Well, science certainly has something to say about it. The most prominent scientific theory that explains the Ouija board's movement is the ideomotor effect. This phenomenon occurs when our muscles move involuntarily due to subconscious mental activity. It's like your body is acting out your thoughts without your conscious mind calling the shots. So when you and your friends are huddled around an Ouija board, waiting for the planchette to move, it's not necessarily a ghost or spirit guiding your hands. Instead, it could be your own subconscious thoughts and expectations causing tiny, almost imperceptible muscle movements that steer the planchette across the board. Skeptics therefore view the Ouija board less as a window to the spirit world, and more as a mirror reflecting our own thoughts, fears, and desires. They argue that our unconscious mind is incredibly powerful and can easily trick us into believing we're communicating with the other side. However, it's important to remember that science doesn't have all the answers. The ideomotor effect is just one theory, and it doesn't explain every Ouija board experience. For instance, it doesn't account for those spine-chilling moments when the board reveals information that the users couldn't possibly have known. While science offers one explanation, believers in the paranormal have their own theories. For paranormal researchers, the Ouija board is a fascinating tool. It's seen as a bridge, a conduit of sorts that might allow two-way communication with the other side. Now, let's delve into how this mysterious board is employed in the realm of the supernatural. Paranormal investigators often use the Ouija board during their investigations in hopes of contacting spirits and gaining insight into the happenings of a location. The board, with its alphabet, numbers, and simple responses of yes and no, provides a straightforward method for potential spirit communication. The planchette, guided by the fingers of the users, moves to spell out responses supposedly under the influence of any spirits present. There have been instances where researchers claim to have received meaningful responses during these sessions. One such example is the case of a haunted mansion in Virginia, where the board spelled out the name of a former resident, unknown to the investigators at that time. Later research confirmed the existence of this individual, adding a layer of credibility to the session. But it's not all smooth sailing. Critics argue that these responses could be the result of the ideomotor effect, where the users, albeit unconsciously, guide the planchette to the responses. This opens up a Pandora's box of questions about the validity of the information obtained through the board. An interesting facet to consider is the psychological aspect. The anticipation, the ambiance, and the sheer thrill of potential contact can create an environment ripe for interpretation and suggestion. A slight movement of the planchette can be amplified in the minds of the participants, giving weight to the belief in the board's capabilities. The Ouija board, in the context of paranormal research, is a double-edged sword. On one hand, it's a potential tool for communication with the other side. On the other, it's a subject of skepticism and scientific scrutiny. It's a delicate balance between belief and skepticism, between the known and the unknown. The Ouija board continues to be a subject of debate among researchers. Its allure is undeniable, its mystique irresistible. Whether it truly allows communication with the other side or is simply a product of our own subconscious desires, one thing is certain: the Ouija board continues to captivate and intrigue. So, is the Ouija board a harmless game, a divination tool, or a risky portal to the other side? We have delved into the history, the science, the skepticism, and the pop culture surrounding this enigmatic board. Yet the answer to this question still remains in the realm of the subjective. The Ouija board, with its elegant letters and yes or no options, is indeed a tool of divination for some. They view it as a medium to communicate with spirits, to seek answers, or to find solace. For these believers, the Ouija board is more than just a game. It's a spiritual instrument that should be treated with respect. They adhere to certain rules and etiquette, such as always saying goodbye to close the session, or never using the board alone, in order to maintain a safe interaction with the spiritual realm. However, on the other side of the spectrum, skeptics dismiss the Ouija board as a simple parlor game, attributing its eerie movements to the ideomotor effect, which causes unconscious small muscle movements. They argue that the board holds no inherent power, and that the messages produced are simply projections of the user's minds. Then there are those who view the Ouija board as a potentially dangerous conduit to unknown, perhaps malevolent entities. These individuals caution against the casual use of the board, warning that it could potentially open doors to negative energies or spirits. Three contrasting perspectives, each with its own set of believers and skeptics, coexist in our society, making the Ouija board a subject of endless fascination and debate. It is a game for some, a spiritual tool for others, and a dangerous gamble for a few. Whether you believe in its powers or dismiss it as a game, the Ouija board continues to captivate and intrigue us. It holds a mirror to our beliefs, fears, and our ceaseless quest to understand the unknown. But at the end of the day, it's up to you to decide. Is the Ouija board a tool of divination or a dangerous game?